there was a section of CBS 60 Minutes where Dr. Fatima Cody was interviewed. She's a doctor from Stanford, and she made a claim that obesity is caused by, first and foremost, genetics, meaning to say it's almost... I like the premise of how they form the perspective that, oh, it's not the person's fault. But then when you say that it's not the person's fault, there's nothing they can do either when you say it's genetics. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, I thought that was unfortunate because for multiple reasons. Scientifically, because it's simply not true. The instances of true genetic-induced obesity are very uncommon. These are instances when a person has a mutation in leptin, for example, and as a child they may get to 200 pounds by the time they're 8 years old, or they may have a mutation. More common than leptin is a mutation in a melanocortin signaling within the brain, MC4R, or pro-opiomelanocortin production. So there are a handful of instances where that single mutation results in, like I would say, catastrophic obesity in childhood and for life. Those are very, very uncommon. Other than that, there's no clear genetic pattern to obesity. Now, we do know that there's certainly a familial tendency to these, where one family just happens to just gain fat more easily than another family. But even then, and if that is what she meant, then I can sort of say, yeah, okay, that's not what she said. But if she meant that there's a familial pattern to fat gain and predisposition towards fat gain, I could say, yeah, that is an accurate statement. But the way it was expressed was that it is genetic, and thus there's nothing you can do. That I disagree with completely. I mean, as strongly as I can, and while being polite, I disagree with that sentiment. There is no clear genetic disposition or pattern in people that have even familial tendencies to gain weight. Even then, we can't put our finger on, oh, it's this mutation, or this gene, this gene, this gene. It's multifaceted. It's much more than that. But even still, it completely ignores the environmental effect here. That even if someone has a familial predisposition to gaining weight, telling them that it is hopeless is utterly counterproductive and very, very unfortunate, because it totally ignores the fact that a human has the ability to make choices. And we know that people can lose weight. We know that people can lose a fantastic amount of weight and keep it off indefinitely. What do we say to them? That they don't exist? That they're a black swan? It's impossible. Well, the black swans do exist. So I thought it was a very unfortunate viewpoint. And it's also at a deeper philosophical level, which I worry might have been part of the point, is this creeping philosophy that that we aren't in charge and we can't be responsible for ourselves. As a father, that is like the worst form of parenting. If I were to tell my kids, nothing you do matters, everything just happens to you, and you on your own are incapable of eliciting any change in your own life or anyone else's. What a horrific and depressing point of view.
Yeah, you're born and you're given these cards and you just have to deal with it.
Yes, what a depressing view. And again, I worry that is her statements reflect a growing trend in the modern world of no accountability. And I reject that premise completely.